This year is Profile Design's 25th anniversary as a brand in the triathlon industry since 1988, and that's the early days. And at the time, there was no money in it. People were just doing that because they were passionate about it.
The original owner of the company, I worked for him when I first started, and he started out with basically a couple handlebars and an idea. They sketched out the first airstrike handlebar on a cocktail napkin. They were guys that were working on their passion, and they were all triathletes when they first started. Guys going to Kona back in the day when there was hardly any qualifying races. There weren't 2,000 people towing the line. The guys at that point in time were definitely living their dreams for sure. Traditionally, cyclists have been a little bit more conservative to adapt to new trends. Triathletes are much more open towards that, and Profile being originally an aero bar company, and our first product being aero bars, and we still make bars today. From an aerodynamic point of view, looking at it fit and adjustability, and looking at how important the rider aerodynamics are for the rider on the bike. And Profile's been tackling that for 25 years, and there's a lot of companies now that are new to aero bars. They're new to triathlon and looking at the sport with a little bit of a different eye. But multi-sport in general has been really technologically has been leading the way for a lot of road cycling that we see today.
And we've always taken that approach with our products. So we haven't been a road company that started to dabble into triathlon. We said from the very beginning we're a triathlon company, and we'll continue to be that.
There's been so many athletes over the years that we've had the pleasure to work with, that we're happy to have that partnership with those athletes, that to get the technical feedback from them, how they're riding the bars, how they're riding all our components. There's a lifetime of experience with these athletes that they provide for us, and it's really been a great partnership for us.
Profile Design has more Ironman champions on our aero bars than any of the other brands out there. Chris McCormick, Craig Alexander, Norman Stadler, all of the big names, and Peter Reed. You can go back through the years, and all of the iconic Ironman world champions have used our products and ridden them to victory in Kona. Not only are we the winningest bar in Ironman history, but we're also the most popular bar with age groupers. Every year there's a bar count, a bike count, hydration count at Ironman. For the last 10 years or so, we have been the most popular aero bar and had more hydration products by far than any other brand out there.
We're more than just an aero bar company. We're more than just a company that's making parts and accessories for triathletes' bikes, and trying to look at what does a triathlete need. A triathlete needs more than just cycling equipment. A triathlete needs a wetsuit. A triathlete needs run equipment to make them perform better. I mean, the whole thing is we're trying to help athletes perform at their best.
From hard goods, to wheels, to wetsuits, to hydration belts, and all the little accessories in between there. It's just really cool that a single brand of Profile Design can encompass all of those different categories.
We did our own CFD. We came up with some rim profiles that we felt kind of delivered really good performance. We won Abu Dhabi the first year. We've had great reviews on those. Really good stability, really good aerodynamics. We've been working on some new wheels. Hopefully next year we'll see some stuff come out for us. Looking at advances in material technology, looking at advances in form and function.
So whether you're doing your first triathlon or your 50th, Profile Design has products in every category for you. From wheels to wetsuits, aero bars, accessories, hydration, and on-the-run belts, we have everything that you need for a successful triathlon. Profile Design has been on the ground since 1988, since the early days, and at that time, there wasn't a lot of money in it, and now a lot of brands are all getting in because they see dollar signs, but we've been invested in the sport for 25 years because we had the passion for it. It's what we do, it's what we love.
Working on 2014, working on 2015 product, and 2016 beyond that, where do we want to go as a brand? We're trying to push the envelope as to all the things we've already done, and then look for new challenges. What else can we do? What else can we do for Profile to make us better, and kind of provide more for our athletes? That's what we're trying to do.
pretty exciting development was in the late 80s working with Paul Newby Fraser and made this just completely cutting edge bike for her. That was an exciting time for triathlon, talking about pushing the limits on aerodynamics and doing things that people hadn't really done before, just lopping huge amounts of time off of the bike segment. Nowadays we talk about tenths of seconds, or over the distance of an Ironman. I mean, we're talking about maybe a minute or two. Back then it was phenomenal gains made by just technology. Our triathletes, like the Rayler brothers, the U-Place team based out of Holland, or Leanda Cave, they've got so many choices. It's all about choices for these guys. 1984, Olympics is based in LA. Easton's also based in LA. They asked Jim Easton, son of the founder of Easton, if he would be the mayor of the Olympic Village. And he's so inspired seeing the games that when he came back to the office, he said, from this point on, we're only doing sporting goods. And that was really a big turning point for the brand. So Jim Easton thought, this guy Chuck, we've seen him ride his bike to and from work. He seems to know a thing or two about bikes. Let's get him in here, let's talk to him. Let's see if he'll help us out. So you couldn't have asked for a better opportunity. It was just, the timing was perfect. We're so lucky to be in a place like Santa Cruz that has such bike culture. And the lunch ride here gets pretty competitive. The Giro guys across the building, like they're religious about the lunch ride. When we join the Giro guys, we put our tubulars on. We put on the most most competitive wheels we can for that ride, because it's a big deal here.
The ability for the engineers who are designing the product upstairs to be able to walk downstairs and see that same product they designed being tested and seeing it fail or pass, and understanding those failure modes. So that tight feedback loop, we're able to reiterate iterations very quickly and progress the process. What would normally take us months working overseas to just weeks in-house. This is Easton's brake track test fixture. It's going to simulate riding down a mountain pass with the brakes on the entire time. This is a durability test for carbon clinchers as well as carbon tubulars. This test is really important for carbon clinchers specifically because the air pressure and the carbon itself change a lot during braking. So as you are heating up a carbon clincher, if it's not made with the proper temperature resin, you can then break down the resin system, and then the bead hook, which is holding the tire on, can soften and let the tire go. This same fixture will do wheel impact testing as well as handlebar impact testing. This radius of this collar here is going to drop onto the edge of the rim without a tire. That way we can test from various heights how much force it takes to damage the rim itself. And we'll test it all up to the point of failure so we know how much force the edge of the rim can actually handle. In most cases with Easton's carbon wheels, it can handle almost twice the energy as an aluminum wheel without damage.
Our facility here, world class, and that's really the best thing about being here. We can test wheels, we can test handlebars, we're talking about torque test and bump test, impact test. We know exactly how the stuff's going to hold up long before it goes to market, so we can be confident when we put it out there that it's not only the fastest that the athlete can get, but that it's going to hold up. We do all of our service and repairs right here in Scotts Valley. It's literally the best customer service. Our competitors can't keep up with that. So turnaround time for a warranty is 5 business days. For just a general repair, say you crash real bad and you got a hop in your wheel and you want to get it fixed up, that's about 10 business days.
If your wheel breaks, we want to know why. We don't want to just give you new product and say, go try to break it again. We want to touch it and feel it and see what's going on out there, like what's the trend? And here the team analyzes it, they talk to the customer, they interact. How often do you interact with someone about your product? Everything is hand built and we use a lot of tone. You'll notice, you probably hear them in the back plucking the spokes now. We build everything by hand. A lot of competitors' wheels are built with a machine, and that creates a lot of tension and uneven tension on spokes. And to use the tone method, we just get a more even sounding wheel and more even true wheel.
It's a fun time to be involved right now. Like the performance that that we're getting out of carbon wheels and where we're going with it. It's exciting stuff.
World champion,